certain, but we will come back to it as soon as time permits. Commissioner DeSabatino.
That was my question, if we're going to stop at 10 so they know, and then we'll break it up. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Madam Clerk, are you ready? Okay. First card, and so that you know, they're all numbered with the time that the card was received. So the first one is Jamie Canfield.
I represent a local affiliate of the National Move to Amend organization. We are hereby asking that the Board of Manatee County Commissioners consider the approval of a resolution authorizing the placement of a non-binding referendum on this November's ballot. This is the suggested wording of a straw ballot question. Only human beings are endowed with constitutional rights. Should the rulings of Citizens United and related Supreme Court cases be overturned by an amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America to provide that only human beings and not corporations, labor unions, and other artificial entities are endowed with constitutional rights, and that money is not speech, and therefore regulating political contributions and spending is not equivalent to limiting political speech. 17 states and over 600 communities across our nation have passed resolutions in support of this proposal. Recently, both the city of Sarasota and of Anna Maria Island have unanimously voted to support it. Sarasota County officials are in the process of considering this request as we speak today. Nationally, the We the People Amendment has been introduced into the Congress as the House Joint Resolution number 48 on April 29, 2015. What has become abundantly clear in this election year is the fact that the general public is upset with the political establishment. The embarrassment of gridlock in Washington has driven both sides of the political spectrum into talking about a movement, a change, a revolution. What has merged is a common awareness that the system is rigged. Our sense of democracy has been severely compromised. It is no longer acceptable that a few wealthy individuals and powerful organizations can manipulate the politicians against the will of the majority of the people. If the undue influence of money is not taken out of our political process, the status quo and gridlock will continue. Private profit will continue to trump the common good. Furthermore, it's no longer acceptable that corporations can claim to have the same constitutional rights as those of the people. The word corporation does not appear in the Constitution. Time restraints do not allow me to point out all of the local examples of this cancer in our society, but here's a taste of it. In the upcoming county commissioner races, in one district, a candidate has emerged who, in the month of April, has collected over $50,000 in contributions, most of it coming from developers not residing in this district. Mr. Canfield, we'll have to go to the next speaker. Thank you, sir.
3 minutes.
3 minutes are up, but we appreciate it. Next is William Dennison. And Mary Shepard is after Mr. Dennison.
Thank you for the opportunity. Americans may be sharply divided on other issues, but they are united in their view of the 2010 Citizens United Supreme Court ruling that unleashed a torrent of political spending. They hate it. The High Court's 2010 5-4 decision said it is okay for corporations and labor unions to spend as much as they want to convince people to vote for or against a candidate. The court said that because these funds were not being spent on coordination with a campaign, they did not give rise to corruption or the appearance of corruption. In a lower court case, Speech Now.org versus the FEC, the lower court case used the Citizens United case as precedent when it said that limits on contributions to groups that make independent expenditures are unconstitutional. The Supreme Court did keep limits on disclosure in place, and super PACs are required to report regularly on who their donors are. However, the same can't be said for dark money from social welfare groups and some other nonprofits. Unlike the super PACs, nonprofits do not report who funds them. In the recent Bloomberg Politics national poll, 78% of those responding said the Citizens United ruling should be overturned. This is not a partisan issue. Republicans oppose Citizens United, according to Bloomberg, 80% to 18%, while Democrats oppose it 83% to 13%, and all independents 71% to 22%. In 2010 federal elections, the first after Citizens United, outside groups spent $294 million on political advertising. 46%, $135 million, was spent by groups that did not provide any information about their sources. Outside spending organizations reported $1.28 billion in spending to the FEC through the end of election 2012, 4 times the amount spent in 2010. And $396 million, or 60%, of the $656 million raised by super PACs came from just 132 donors, giving at least $1 million. The $624 million was from undisclosed. The other $624 million was from undisclosed sources, so-called dark money. We now live in a world with unlimited money, laments Paul S. Ryan, Deputy Executive Director and attorney for the Campaign Legal Center, which is working to undo the effects of the decision. And we do have corruption, and we don't have disclosure. Every indicator shows that these organizations may escalate spending to more than $2 billion before the 2016 elections.
Thank you, Mr. Dennison. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure everyone has a chance to speak.
I just asked that you present the position.
Mary Shepard? And after Mary Shepard, Frank, I'm not going to pronounce this right, Dellard? Dellard.
There are many ways in which corporations have taken advantage of claiming the same constitutional rights as people, and we see these abuses displayed in our own community, unfortunately at the expense of the degradation of our precious environment. The county has given countless concessions to a big fertilizer company out east who is raping our land and depleting our precious water sources. Our community is now painted by this company's logo. You cannot go anywhere without seeing their name. With an abundance of money, they have been able to saturate the public idea, creating a myth about their contribution to our environment, while drowning out all opposition. Another company planning the development of the Long Bar Point is in the process of suing our county to the tune of $18 million, claiming due process under the law as described in the Fifth Amendment.
Excuse me, Mary, Mr. County Attorney, this is on an item that I'm assuming will be coming forth in the future. Is it okay to discuss it today?
Just comments.
I want to make sure we stay.
Is the board mindful of a pending application of some sort?
Well, I've read in the paper that something's going on with Long Bar Point, that it's going to come forward. That's all I know. I haven't had any briefings of any sort.
Aren't we
Madam Chair.
in a lawsuit?
Let him speak.
We-
What he's not aware of.
We're certainly in
If you're
litigation.
not aware of anything, then okay. I just thought perhaps. we need-
I'm not presently aware of anything. I'm sorry.
All right.
So,
Go ahead, Mary, I apologize.
There is a plan under review right now for the same piece of property. I don't know the exact name, but it's called Aqua, but it is the same piece of property
That's right.
as Long
I
Bar.
knew I had heard something. Yeah.
There is?
Yes.
It's
I
under
don't know,
review.
we haven't been briefed or
And we
anything.
can't
but-
comment, of course, it's quasi-judicial.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you, Commissioner Chapity, for that reminder. There is a project generally known as Aqua, which is within the overall land holdings, otherwise known as Long Bar Point. It is in the process of a staff review, that is correct. And so, you know,
Wanted to make sure, Mary, that we were.
I'm not clear where the citizens' commentary is headed here, so I would suggest that for the moment, we give her some
Okay.
leeway.
Mary, we stopped the clock, so you still have 1.34 seconds to go.
Just
so you know.
minutes.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah,
seconds.
sorry.
Okay. This builder is suing us because we are denying him the right to put a marina on his proposed development and dredging a channel through the precious seagrass beds of the Sarasota Bay estuary. And at this point in time, and he's also hoping that, so while he's suing us, at the same time, he's asking us for his vote to represent us in Washington, D.C. As a senator. It's time for me to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Nice seeing you.
See you, Mary.
Haven't seen you in a while. Frank Delort?
I saw her at Cracker Barrel with her family.
Got that right? And next, after Frank, if we have time, I think we'll probably have to stop at that point, but we'll come back to it.
Good morning. In his 2010 dissent of Citizens United decision, Justice Stevens wrote, "Corporations have no conscience, no beliefs, no feelings, no thoughts, no desires." I join the other speakers here today requesting your support and request the approval of a resolution authorizing the placement of a non-binding referendum on the November ballot to amend the U.S. Constitution. I'm going to use a title from a song by Rodriguez, I Wonder. I wonder, did you look in a mirror today? What did you see? Obviously, you saw a person, a human being, naked or clothed. I wonder if you think that person is intelligent, caring, loving. I wonder if you personally believe that the decision made by 5 men on the Supreme Court giving personhood to corporations was as misguided as I do. Meet Corporation X, okay? I wonder what you would think of the answers would be if you took these papers to your physician and asked a stack of papers the same questions he or the doctor might ask you. What's your blood pressure? What's your heart rate? Do you leak urine when you laugh or cough? Do you wear Depends? When was your last colonoscopy? Wrinkle the papers. Does that hurt? I wonder if you looked in a mirror right now, you would see a little smile on your face. I wonder if you really think what we are asking you to do today is something that the person you saw in the mirror cannot support. I close with a few more words from another Rodriguez song. Hello is always followed by goodbye.
Thank you. All right, we're going to have to go at this point now to our 10 o'clock time certain. Item number 34, report on mosquito control. Madam Clerk, how much time do we have left for public comment on future agenda items?
18 minutes and 42 seconds.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you.